here. We're copying this link. Hopefully this is pasted right now. What's up, Mike? Good morning. It's 6. What is it? 6 a.m.? 6 a.m. What it is. What's up, Minnesota News Now? The famous Minnesota News Now. There's the link. Can we pin that? Oh, I can't pin it unless I'm on. Let me see. YouTube.com. And then let's go to my own channel. Okay, what's up? Peanut 411, Blind Straight, Mike, everybody and anybody, really. We just had some burgers on the grill. I'm just trying to get this pinned. Hold on. There it is, pinned. All right, won't be causing no problems. Don't start no problems. There won't be no problems. This is revamped and on the reg, definitely as it sounds. All right, let's go back. I got to give myself a thumbs up here because nobody else will, so I gotta. You know what I'm saying? It's hot, so I said I'm gonna be down in the basement. And then when I got down to the basement, I was like, well, I can get cool down here and I can talk to you guys. So, Blind Straight. What does that name mean? Like Blind Straight? Like, are you like Blind Straight? Like, isn't Scared Straight like a TV show for kids in jail or something, or prison? You send them off to prison and then the people scare the shit out of the little kids. I mean, that's kind of sick. Or is it Blind Straight like Blind Justice? What is it really? Hey. It is what it is. Oh, don't start no shit. Won't be no shit. I just started some shit. What's up, Blind? Come on. 10-4, good buddy. Let's go. Let's get it. Oh, I see. Oh, it's Minnesota News Now. What? His hands are dirty. You got black hands. Did you blow your hand off? Oh, it's concrete gloves.
I'm working on a small project, so.
That don't look small to me. It looks like you're doing some outback Martha Stewart gardening.
No, it's a paper patio. And then, of course, I got my coworker out here.
Tiger.
We decided to take a break.
Yeah, he's looking fat. Let's get those bricks moving.
She's union.
He's union paid, so you don't see him put a brick up very often. That's for sure. Jet says a man cave, so it probably is going to be the man cave out on the patio.
Yeah, this isn't mine though. I wish it was.
No, I know. Well, you'll get your backyard soon enough if you build enough of them. So you would think, but maybe just collect the materials.
A leftover brick in here or there, in about 400 years, I'll be able to get a free one, right?
Then you'll be able to get your own. It'll be like mismatched, but guess what? It'll be one.
Doesn't matter to me.
I always thought that myself. I built so many myself, and I could never get one myself. So you do all the drywall, you do all the concrete, stamped concrete, the curb and gutter. You do everything. You do the roads, and yet you don't have your own. You put in doors, you spray doors, you sand doors, you finish doors, you put the stain on the doors, everything. And isn't that just unbelievable that you can do it all, but you can't own it?
Do we really own it though?
You don't own it. No matter what, these people that you're trying to own it, but you're never really going to own it.
No. Well, have you followed the pipeline protest today up in northern Minnesota?
Hibbing?
Yeah, somewhere up in that area.
I heard it. I heard it was. Go ahead.
I was going to go up there, but like Unicorn Riot's only got like 300 people watching his stream, so I'm like, kind of glad I didn't make that 4-hour drive.
Well, it's way up by Park Rapids, Minnesota, and that's a beautiful area. I used to go up there and we used to go fishing, and we used to call it Blue Lake, but it might have been called actually Round Lake. But I don't know where.
I think we got like 4 or 5 round lakes in Minnesota.
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know if it's I thought it was always Blue Lake. It was like a Blue Lake cabin or a resort that was up there. And it would be nice to get back there to where we grew up. Or we just took our camping trips up there. There's an old outhouse, there's a big old pole barn now. He had a Lund boat. We used to go out on a boat every now and then. So to make it back up there, I think and maybe have some water toys to play with while we're up there, or rent some water toys, or stay up at a resort up there. That would be just wicked awesome. And I know my brother was just saying something about that, so it would, I know Grandpa died not that long ago, so it's just
Well,
and they had to sell it all off, so it just is what it is. You lose touch with the family properties, but whatever.
it's one thing I've learned is it's just nicer just to have little things in life, right? You appreciate it so much more.
Yeah, the more it costs, the more you gotta, stuff breaks, and that's the facts of it. Is even if you get a nice little toy, it's to beat up and have 10 minutes of fun, and then you're fixing on it for 10, 12 hours when it breaks down. So what did you hear about the pipeline? What have you got into on it?
I've been so busy in Minneapolis. I know of 2 independent journalists that have been tackled by Minneapolis police the last 3 or 4 days. I haven't had a chance because I'm doing this, 12, 14 hours in the day, and I'm just not feeling like going to get tackled. So even the crowd has changed too. They're becoming more violent with people too. There was an old elderly white guy that got smashed and hit his head real bad and bleeding, and that was from someone in the crowd.
So what's going on at 38th in Chicago?
So far, nothing. They barricaded. The city came in and put barricades up in certain areas, but then they kind of have left the memorial in the middle. Then we had the other shooting. So then that's just kind of been pushed to the side. It's like every month there's got to be something going down here in Minneapolis, and as well as I do, this is Minnesota. This just never would have thought we would be the center of all of this.
No, and for as long as it's went on, one thing is for sure, it's not going away. It seems to be the status quo. But what I'm saying is, why would you bring heavy equipment in there, machinery, and then try and remove? I don't mind that they remove maybe their barricades, but to let people drive through there, I think it's a little early. You would like to see maybe cars be able to pass through there, but it's somebody's memorial. And a lot of people put a lot of sweat, equity, and tears into making that what it was. A lot of people visited that site, and I did. So
yeah,
I care about it.
What they're trying to do is get transit back through that area again to get people being able to get down there or get moved around. So that's what they're saying. Now, I don't know how well buses are going to get around all that, but and a lot of that area has been riddled with a lot of crime because the police can't come in to do an investigation, so it's left up to whoever is doing security in that area. And as much as we all feel about the police, I don't think that the people that are doing security in that area is really able to have the ability to do the real investigations that need to be done.
But you realize 38th in Chicago was violent before this ever happened.
Oh no, I'm not saying it's because of that.
Admit that to me.
Oh yeah, no, that's been an area of kind of a no-go zone for a long time, well before this all happened. I'm just saying that the police go in and do their investigation before. Now they can't even do that. Like, people have to be like carried out. Like, a guy died, I think he was shot, and they had to carry him out to the ambulance. They wouldn't even let the ambulance come in to get him. So to me, it's like fire and EMS has always been an off. No one messes with them, right? I can understand the police, but you know, fire and police have always kind of just been there. You know, they being on the fire side, we don't care. Like we're just there to help. You don't want our help, we'll leave. You want our help, we'll come. You know, and so we've always been hands off, and I think that sentiment has always been resonated through everybody. I mean, even in times of war.
Well, we're perfectly capable of, I guess, picking up our own. I had to reevaluate myself and say that if they won't come to my house, if they're scared to come in my house, I have to buy. And my thought was when I bought my van is I have to be able to transport my own people.
Well, you know, I've talked to some of the Antifa medics that have been there too, and some of them, because I was more curious for my curiosity, what kind of medical training do they have? And you're talking people with like basic first aid skills, maybe wilderness first responder. I think I had talked to someone that was in training to be an EMT basic, which the wording has changed. It's been, I don't know. They're not like combat medics, and when you're in a situation like that, you almost need a combat medic, like military. You need to understand what it's like to be almost in a war zone, to be able to patch up, do what you need to keep that person alive, to get them to the next level of treatment.
So with the pipeline now, I hate to switch subjects this quick on you. The pipeline, I know you didn't hear a whole lot about it. From what I've seen with Unicorn Riot, there's people on the machinery handcuffing themselves to the machinery, and it's starting to get the feel of looking like Dapple or what happened up in North Dakota, the Dakota Access Pipeline. Is this part of the Dakota Access Pipeline coming through Hibbing, Minnesota, or is this a Tarzan coming down from Canada, a different pipeline?
I believe this is a different one. So my understanding is the Tarzan pipeline comes from Canada and then goes, well, I'm opposite here on the camera. It goes over to Wisconsin, and the issues is it's not benefiting us, because once it goes to Wisconsin, it's and out.
Its additive is added in Wisconsin and then shipped out further, or that's just how it's cleaned, is in Wisconsin.
Are you back?
Detergent. Yeah, I'm here. Are you there?
Sorry, I got a phone call.
Go ahead and take your phone call. I mean, you still there?
Yep. All right, you're back. So yeah, so what happens is, and then it gets shipped out. So they're saying it's to benefit us, but it has no benefit to us at all, period. And I think that's you know, there's a twofold situation, right? One of the issues is, you know, the wetland, you know, if it breaks or something happens, the issues with the wetlands, you know, what's going to happen. And then number two is they're trying to claim that, well, it's to benefit us. Well, there is no benefit. It doesn't benefit us at all if it's not coming to us, right? Although I did learn today that all the law enforcement, I think what's the actual official name they call it? The North Star Task Force is a group of law enforcement agencies that are, you know, grouped together, and their Enbridge is paid into some surplus that, or not surplus, but a trust. And so all the law enforcement agencies are getting reimbursed through this trust. And so the whole goal of what today's and most of these protests is to basically make Enbridge pay all these law enforcement agencies, you know, as much as possible. And
but what are our chances that we're going to quit this going through? What are the chances that people that are handcuffing themselves to this, how are we going to stop it? Because the Dakota Access never got stopped.
Yeah, it's not going to stop. You're talking about a multi-billion-dollar company that I think there was maybe 500 people there today. So, I mean, 500 against a major corporation is a nuisance. I mean, look at Big Pharma. They weigh risks in.
Is there going to be beatdowns, water cannons? Are they going to get hit, kicked, assaulted?
You know, from what I've seen, the PD up there was pretty respectful, taking people into custody. You know, there was
How many people did they take into custody?
I'm gonna say probably close to over 100. A lot of it, they go up to him. They're like, if you unchain yourself and you leave, we're gonna let you go. We're not gonna do anything to you. But if you stay, we're gonna cut you out, and then we're gonna, you know, take you in custody. So,
do you
that's
feel
something
that's okay? I mean, do you feel like it's a legit trespass on pipeline property, and you think that they're all just not welcome there? And are they on a reservation? Because there is a reservation close to there.
Yeah, actually, I was just in Blue Earth. I don't know if you've seen my video that came out. It's all over with Thin Blue Line Slayer. Lockluster's actually looking at doing a video on it. It's a lot of channels, big channels, have done his video where they went in. It was Blue Earth PD, or I'm sorry, White Earth. It's White Earth. They went in to execute an arrest warrant of someone that didn't live at his house. He wasn't going to let them in. They said, we're going in. And I've got more videos coming out to this. And they ended up arresting him for obstruction. The problem is he was standing on the Fourth Amendment, and there's no right that they have to go in on an arrest warrant for this particular incident. There's no exigent circumstances. This person didn't live there. They got some mail there at one point, you know, like the junk mail. But the interesting thing, as I more dig into this, the reservation police never actually were voted in by the tribal council to be a post certified, so a state law enforcement agency. They were only supposed to be tribal police.
For Inwood. So Grand Falls?
Is that this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
The right one?
Yeah, I don't know where my other one is.
Wait,
I think you
yeah.
got that one.
That's the right one. You don't care if I go out there? Don't forget to pick up kids.
Sorry, got a little bit of business.
So the tribe covers like 3 or 4 counties up there, and so it's right up in that White Earth area.
Computer.
Insulin run. $50.
Okay,
$6.59.
I'm trying to get weasel myself some more time. I didn't realize it was going to be this hectic. I do have stuff to do around 7:30, 7:45 ish. This is all very interesting. Very, you know, obviously they're going to keep arresting people.
Yeah. I
guess if they're not violent towards them, as long as it doesn't get out of hand, like. I don't know. It does look like they're kind of pitching tents. They got some water up there, but you realize that if you were going to start, so you need a lot of water. You need water runners. You need all kinds of supplies. Now, I'm not saying let's go jump in and do that. I'm saying I care that it's 90-degree heat all week long. You would send the support that you need to send for those on the ground. Definitely.
Well, and the police have taken a pretty interesting tactic. It's almost a military tactic. Is they're trying to cut off the supply lines, so people to bring with vans and stuff, bringing supplies, they pull up and they go, if you don't leave right now, we're arresting you. And so it's kind of interesting how they're playing this. They're doing a whole completely different tactic than Minneapolis, where they just beat you first and then find out later. So I do commend law enforcement for not being Minneapolis law enforcement, right? They're not.
Park Rapids is a really nice area. It
I talked to one of the undersheriffs up in Becker County, or yeah, the deputy sheriff up there, and he told me, explained a lot about tribal land that I had no idea. I was on the phone with him for an hour and a half explaining the difference of different law enforcement, different jurisdictions, just all sorts of, and he didn't have to do that, right? So I really, respect him. It's more that small town family environment. Basically they just want peace. They're not trying to really. We actually have, I think, 20. Becker County's actually gone to. They don't call it a Second Amendment sanctuary county, but we have a lot of sheriffs up there that, they believe in the Constitution, right? It's just different viewpoints, and when you work in law enforcement, just like any other job, you tend to become jaded into that. But at least most of these law enforcement agencies are at least open to the conversation, hearing a different viewpoint, trying to work between what the us against them mentality to the citizens and who they're serving. So it's really interesting because I can't get in touch with anyone in Minneapolis PD at all, where these people call me back.
Yep. You're talking the smaller counties, but no, there is something to be said about they're not all equal. They don't act all the same. They don't.
Are you watching the time though?
Yep.
Don't forget her, okay?
Yep.
Leave a little early.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I know. I know.
I'm dancing. I'm busy, I guess.
But yeah, no.
Look, I respect the law enforcement that gives warnings before water cannoning and blowing people's arms off and having to put up the drones and just the violence that occurs because of even some of the pipeline workers having AR-15s in their car or whatever took place got way out of hand. And it shouldn't have. It's a peaceful protest. The seven generations were coming together. You hit it at the wrong time. You desecrated sacred land. But now on the opposite side of that, there is a such thing as cops that don't act like that don't act like what went on in Mandan, or I believe that's where
Yep.
Mandan and trying to think of the tribe up there, but very important that. But I looked at stuff even as of a month ago. They were reporting on stuff that was here, big stars, big names. If you look on YouTube, you do a search for third string, third line oil pipeline, you're going to pop some stuff up. And those searches are from about a month or two ago. They're pretty fresh. And so obviously there was a call to action a month or two ago. So for the police to be so lax, I mean, you have to think they knew it was coming. And especially knowing the tar sand and how dirty it is. And if it leaks into your rivers, you're going to have three-eyed fish in a little while, I believe.
Well, and you know what northern Minnesota's like with all the lakes we have.
It's beautiful.
It's gorgeous. I mean, you live by a lake.
State Park's up there. It's beautiful. Yep. Walleyes, northerns.
That's the thing, right? We don't want our earth destroyed, and there's got to be. I think there's got to be some compromise. I support private property rights. So I think that's the struggle we're looking at. They're trespassing on private property. Just like if I go in somewhere as media and they tell me to leave, I gotta go if it's private, right? We're still fighting it out in the Supreme Court. There's a lot of different things between media, press, and and general public protesting, time, place, and manner restrictions. I think that's one thing that a lot of people don't understand. We are governed by time, place, and manner restrictions for protesting. You know, you can't go into a residential neighborhood at 3 o'clock in the morning and get on a megaphone and start screaming and waking everyone up.
I see. Unless you got nothing around you, but middle of Minneapolis on 38th in Chicago, that as a resident, I have to put myself in them shoes. I'd probably be outside going, "Shut the up,"
And there were, and that's a big part of it too. But I think, this is what I don't understand. We have too many people out there that are anti-law enforcement and then pro-government to come save me, or we have people that are pro-law enforcement and anti-government. And what we need to understand is law enforcement is the enforcement branch of the government. So if you don't like law enforcement, change your government, right? That will change law enforcement. And I think that's where the message is getting lost here.
It has a big, you gotta say something about the negative and the positive, but I would like to say we've been screaming for a really long time that we want change. And I would say these elections are being won by such narrow margins, and they have been since Al Gore and that wasn't Bush, Al Gore and Clinton. Who was it? Clinton?
George
Al Gore
W. Bush.
George
W.
It was another Bush. It was George W. So that race to me was so close that I don't think everybody seen it or noticed it, but that was the shift in America. But the problem is that Al Gore didn't win. Now, I don't know what you think about Al Gore, but I thought it from minute one. I just thought this was a messed up race. Now, seeing this years later, we're having this dynamic shift and people still aren't accepting it. Now, I understand why.
Right.
I kind of get it. But at the same time, I see fighting and gnashing of the teeth when it shouldn't be. If we want the police to calm down a little bit, I don't think it's like maybe just put the tasers away for a couple years. Like forget that you even have a taser. It just doesn't matter. You need to be able to reason with people without killing them. And when you start using tasers and then people fall over, you're creating an animosity between you and the people. You create enemies for life because that shock is so great. I don't want to do anything to you that I can't come back from, and you shouldn't want to do anything to me that you wouldn't want to come back from. I don't want to take your job away from you. I don't want to take your house away. The other side of this is I watch live streams where people are intentionally going out, fucking with random businesses, random people, harassing them, calling the cops on them, trying to get them hemmed up, and then stepping back and saying, I'm not trying to get you hemmed up, making reports. I am not in support of that. I think that that's harassment. I think it's harassment towards a security guard, a police officer. Some of these, you have no right putting people in fear, walking up, taking pictures of their VIN numbers on their vehicle. You're pushing them out of the way. You're jockeying for position. That is assault. When you touch another human's skin and they say no or stop, there's something that you have to stop. You have to disengage. And there are certain people that are in the community that don't know that word stop. And they shouldn't be activists. They shouldn't be out there on the front line. I know they have done a lot for this community to get it started, get it going. But it's crazy to watch some of these buffoons, and I know what they're saying. And I'll bet you some of them are even saying it about me. They're like, well, you can't say this, this, and this. You're out there screaming at them like you're a buffoon. I try to check myself, and I see how you've done it from minute one. You've been very, very professional. And you hold yourself up to that standard. If we're ever going to make any change, you have to be professional. And what I say is, I want a lawyer to do all the speaking for me because I'm not professional. So I need somebody standing behind me that can change the legislative branch or get in to the Supreme Court and talk some sense into these people. And I'm not the only one. The up-and-coming running mayor of Sioux Falls wants to make change and get the system to change. But you can't do that if you can't get into the mayor's office seat. So how
Yep.
do you appeal to the people? And I always say it like this. You're so ready. If the people already voted in marijuana in South Dakota, we're ready for the turn.
Yep.
But you got to push. You got to push because every vote counts. You have to sway the people we have never been able to sway.
Well, this is the way, you know, and I don't know if you ever watch ATA, Audit the Audit. A lot of people don't like him because they go, well, he favors the police and all this other stuff. And I've come across videos. He actually just did one of St. Paul PD. It was about a year old video. There's a lot of cop fail videos in his too. I think for him, he tries to tread down that middle of the road. But the one thing I try and I agree with, if we need the community to back what we're doing, right? If we make enemies on all sides, we're not going to win anything, right? So if we push to be positive, to be to get the community to back us on what we're doing, to understand what we're really trying to do, that we're not out there going to you know, a private
Harm.
business.
To harm an officer, harm a business,
Yeah.
to cost a business money. Bad thing.
Yeah. And that's the main thing. Like, we're not, and it's really easy to get jaded. It's in human nature, right? It's easy to get jaded. It's easy to fall into that trap. It's easy to just say F everything and just walk away, right? And then become the person that we're trying to fight against. And that's one thing I want everybody always to do with me. I want my viewers to check me if I step out of line. So, you know, I think that's the main thing. Sorry to look at the message. But I think that's the main thing we always have to look at is we need the check and balance of ourselves so we don't turn into what we're trying not to be. You know, I think a lot of the other people, and, you know, I get checked on this one. I didn't write the book on auditing, so I shouldn't be the one telling someone else they're doing it the wrong way. I think that what we should do is really work hard into always listening to what our community wants, because we are, you know, the voice of a lot of people. We are showing a lot of people. I get mad. I mean, I was pissed when I got tackled by the Minneapolis officer. No one wants to. I got pissed when I had that state trooper grab my arm, you know, and I flipped him off. That's not who I am. I don't regret that. FTP, do you got to go? FTP's got a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, I got a little one. All right, so 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
But Mark, I wanted the computer.
50 minutes.
I would just
10 more minutes. I'll be 5 more minutes. I'll be done.
Yeah, 5 minutes. I got to get back to work too. So
Yeah. I don't want to keep you all day. This conversation, though, I know what you.
Come here, everyone.
Shh.
I'm getting on.
Be good.
She is not getting the computer, dude. I am.
You guys got to share it.
I'm getting on the computer. I got here before.
I did 20 minutes, right?
You get 1 minute.
No, I did 20 minutes.
I'll Claymore kick you.
Stop.
No,
I'm
I did after that, and then you.
Nope.
Oh dear. I guess maybe it's time to look.
yeah,
Just to recap on what you said, I
Shut up.
Yes.
Shut up.
I really value your input, and I know that there's a way to correct this and this behavior, and I know a lot of cops are quitting. It's a good start. I see a younger crowd of cops. I don't feel such hostility. They still do know my name, people I have never even seen before. They're still passing my name around. But I understand that attacking them is not helping our position. And yes, we need to, I guess just focus on the laws, changing the bad laws, changing the laws that just don't matter. And
it's accountability across the board is the way I look at it, right? I appreciate the good ones, and I tell them all the time. Like when I was in Crystal, I told them, I said, look, you see my face, you see what I wear, you see my truck. This is what I'm about, right? I'm not here to be, I am pressed, that is it. I am not on one side or another. And they ended up let me come in and gave me no problems. Hey, Capital. Yeah, no, it's something you and I have talked about too, about the respect thing. It's tough, but you know, like the video or the column I sent you earlier, Capital, talking about the reform with St. Paul PD. They went through some interesting training lately. I forget the safety word they use. I've got this with St. Paul PD. When one officer sees another officer kind of being out of control, they say, "I got this," and that's the key word to back down. So there's some interesting stuff coming out there. There is some change I see in different agencies. You know, we're all human is the way I look at it. We all can change. We all can work together to make this work. You know, some do. Some actually do. I've talked to a lot that and seen a lot. So to have hard viewpoints is when we become jaded. And I think once you take a hard stance on something, then you're not open to look at the bigger picture. I have to check that out. Yeah, it is taking care of your community. Taking care of the roots. Yeah, and that's the thing. Yeah. I think I'm gonna try and get.
I'm not trying to be a bully to you, but
Hey, FTP.
yeah, I better get gone.
Do you need more computers?
Oh, I got a couple laptops. I just don't. You know, I could have easily done this on my phone. I just came down to where it was cool because it's 90 degrees upstairs and or 80, and I'm just feeling the heat. I just got done cooking some burgers, so I just wanted to come down and get cooled off. I usually never do panels. Yeah, the most I don't know. I guess I run all Apples. I don't know. They're all built into the screen. Not to say I like them, but they work for me for now.
What you got?
And
all right. Well, I'm going to let you go because it sounds like you're super busy. I got to get back to it. I've been on break too long. My boss is going to yell at me.
Yeah, these kids are yelling at me right now, and it ain't going to stop. So I know what I'm in for, so I'm just done. I'm sorry. Lindsay, I do want to get with you, talk to you about what's going on up in Minnesota. If you're hearing anything different from what we're hearing, oh boy. All right, I'm done. And my kids are just, they won't stop until one of them gets the computer, and even then, I'm still going to have to deal with this. All right. You guys have a good night. Thank you for everybody that came in and supporting me and standing. Oh my gosh. It's just downright crazy. All right.
All right.
I'm out. Peace out.
Goodbye.